Hey, algebra students. This is Fountain here, coming to explain to you section 2.4, problems number 3A and 3B on page 98. So I don't have enough room over here on the right to write it down, but the first thing we do is use the distributive property. On my right-hand side, I don't need to use the distributive property because, well, there is no distributive property. But over here, I do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this 7x here. I'm going to add it to 5 times x, which is 5x, and 5 minus 1, which is negative 5, which is equal to negative 5 plus 12x. Well, over here, I still have two x's together. So it wouldn't really make sense to subtract 7x from here and then go back and subtract 5x when I can just combine them into 12x. But wait a minute. Let me look at that for a minute. Those are equal to each other. So if my answers are equal to each other, that means that I could plug any number in. Any number. I could do 4. (48 minus 5) is 43. Negative 5 plus 48 is 43. Let's try plugging in 9. What would happen if I plugged in 423? Well, what would happen is I would have the same exact answer. So the answer for 3A, because this side, the left side, 12x minus 5 is equal to negative 5 plus 12x. So that means that I could solve this problem with all numbers. Every number that I plug in there is going to yield the same result. So let's try the next one. After I get a better pencil. Hold on. So for 3B, the problem reads like this. 6 times y minus 5 equals 2 times 10 plus 3y. So 6 times y is 6y minus 6 times 5, which is 30. 2 times 10 is 20 plus 2 times 3y is 6y. Well, let's see. Let's use our pretty markers. Well, on either side, we have a positive 6y. So I know I'm going to have to subtract a 6y from one side. But is it easier to subtract a 20 or add a 30? It's easier to add a 30. I'm going to subtract my 6y from here because I want to get my variable on the opposite side of my number. Wait a minute. That leaves me with zeros equal to 50. So what that means, friends, is that there is absolutely no number that I could plug in for y. We're using y in this one. There is no number that I could plug in for y to get an actual answer. So for this one, there is no solution. Zero, zip, zilch, nil.